Parenting can be beautiful, but it can also be really overwhelming. That's why I want to tell you about DOA Health. They bring together coaching, workshops, and on-demand support designed specifically for parents, all reviewed by maternal health professionals. It's about caring for every part of you, not just surviving the day-to-day. And yes, you'll even find Quiet Connection episodes featured right inside DOA, so we can keep walking this journey together. If you're ready to try it out, Quiet Connection listeners can get 10% off with the code QUIET10, all uppercase and the number 10. Just head to doahealth.com or grab the app in the App Store. Welcome to Quiet Connection, a podcast dedicated to ending the stigma around postpartum mental health. I'm Chelsea. Today's guest, Brittny, shares her powerful and raw journey through motherhood. From a traumatic birth experience that left her feeling gaslit and betrayed, recognizing PPD in hindsight almost a year later, and discovering a fierce inner advocate, Brittny takes us on a journey of pain, truth, and resilience. This mama of 5 is truly a boss. Here's Brittny. Hello! Today I'm here with Brittny. Brittny, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm really good. How are you?
I am okay. As we are recording this, it is a Friday evening for me, a Friday afternoon for you. And listeners will know my Monday mornings and my Friday evenings, I'm always like, we're just going to power through. It's like we're going to power through and we're just going to
get her done.
We're going to pretend we have it all together. Because I definitely don't.
It's okay.
But I super appreciate you coming and spending some time with me. And yeah, I would love it if you could introduce yourself and let us know who was Brittny before Brittny was a mom.
Gosh, who is she? So before I was a mom, so I am Brittny Johnson. Before I was a mom, I was a teacher, like primarily I was a teacher. I was a wife, a sister, just someone trying to figure out like where I wanted to be in this crazy world. A lot of what I thought I wanted to be. Of course, I am not that anymore. But yeah, I think through both of them, I was happy.
Yeah. Who's Brittny today? What's Brittny doing today?
Brittny is a mom to 5 kids.
Yeah.
2 sets of twins.
Whoa.
I also am an entrepreneur. So I have my own natural skincare business. Still a wife. Still the same husband. We've been married now for 12 years. Nope, it's 11 years. It's 11. I fast forward to a year. It's 11 years for us this year. Still on this journey. Like, I think I remember telling my students that like, you don't have it all figured out and like, you're always on a journey. Yeah, we're still riding the journey. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. This is off topic, but I have this like couples app and it asks you questions every day. And it was like, the question today was like, when did you finally feel like an adult? And I was like, I don't.
No.
I don't. I'm 36 and I still don't feel like an adult.
Like, is this a real question or is this a trick question?
Right. And it's like, when do you get it all figured out? I don't think you do. I think you just evolve.
Keep going.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that you have this like super positive attitude and like when you're talking about everything, it's just like, yeah, I'm just figuring this out. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm also a mom of 5. Like that's not badass because it's kind of badass. But like, so let's go back in time a little bit. Like, did you always picture yourself having kids and follow up a big family?
No, and no. No. I tell people, so when I was living in DC, I was getting my master's degree in chemistry from Howard University. And I came to this point in my life where I knew that I was like, okay, not having kids, not getting married. Like I just came from Johannesburg, South Africa on a missions trip. And I was just like, I'm good. Like I'm happy. I am content. I was serving children in South Africa and I was just like, no, I don't need any kids. Like I'm okay. And of course, like my husband then like strolled through my life. And, in that moment, I was like, I could have kids with this man. Like I could marry him. He could be, he could be my baby daddy. But when we were, you have this conversation, at least you should have this conversation. My husband and I do marriage prep through our church. And you should have this conversation of like, how many children do you want? And mine was like, 2, maybe 3 and a possible. Like, if that is even like 2.5, can we have that? His was like, okay, I want like 3, 4 kids. I was like, all right, so let's just settle on 3 and then like, just stop.
Yeah. There's some middle ground.
Yeah, I was fine. I can compromise. And yeah, no, we didn't have just 3.
No. Talk to me about that journey. And I don't know the order of your kids either. So like, did you start with twins or like, no? Okay. All right. Walk me through this.
We had our first daughter. She was singleton. Took us a long time to get pregnant. Like, I remember us like, we were about 2.5 years into our marriage. And we were like, okay, now we want to start planning for children. Everybody that I knew who like got off their birth control or whatever they were doing, trying to plan for children, they immediately got pregnant. And I was like, I don't understand. Is there a button I need to push in order to like, is something in my body that's not computing? Like the computer is not functioning properly. So that took at least a good like 9 months to a year for us to get pregnant. I was like, so I found out at that moment, of which I kind of knew, but I didn't understand the whole process at the time. I think sometimes we know things are happening with our bodies, but we just don't really understand how it all works out, especially when you're trying to get pregnant. You're just like, I just want to be pregnant. And so I found out like my prolactin levels were very, very high at the time. And I had stopped. I knew that I had prolactin levels and I'd stopped my medication a while ago because I didn't think I had to be on it anymore. Like I thought I was healed, cured, fine. And that wasn't the case. So they, all they did from that moment, they were like, well, you need to go back on your medication to regulate your your hormones, and then you should get pregnant. And then of course, like did all of that, still didn't get pregnant right away. I pushed the button.
Yes.
So like what happened? And eventually like we did get pregnant. Once we found out that we were going to move to Arizona. And on our way here, took a pregnancy test and I found out we were moving to Arizona. And we found out we were pregnant and I was like, wow. And I think of all the moments, like I probably would never have moved because I was very close to, I'm from Ohio originally, very close to Ohio. Now we're on the other side of the country. And it was just like, wow. That was in 2017. We had her. And then 2020 came. I have true pandemic babies.
Yeah, you do.
Born on the day that we said there was a pandemic. Literally.
What? Okay, yeah, you can claim that you've got.
They're true. Everybody's like, yeah. No, like they're on the day of that national pandemic. These are my children.
Wow. How did that even play out? Like when you're in the hospital?
So like there was there was no plan in place. It was just like, oh, I just had these kids. That's it. Like I didn't have, okay. The whole mask wearing like everybody else had to wear. My husband was still in the room. Like they never kicked him out at all. It was just, we were in there for like, I think 3 days. And then of course we left. And it was just like, all right, everything is shut down. Like, let's just figure out how to navigate life with a set of twins.
And another child.
Another child.
Yeah.
Even the story for us to get pregnant with them, that was also, it took a long time for us to get pregnant with them again. So going through that whole process of, we end up doing trigger shot, time fertility, and another medication I can't think of right now, but we did all of those. Everybody's like, well, did you have like any, so it was like a slight infertility, but nothing, it was more so just hormonal. They told me at one point, they were like, you have a low egg count for your age, for your age. And I was like,
oh my God.
Am I an old woman? Like, how many eggs are left? I don't know.
How many eggs are in the basket?
Is it a dozen? We got 2 dozen? Like, what do we got? What are we working with? Yeah. And so like we did all of that, and they were here. And like navigating life during a pandemic, I will say it was easy. I don't know if, because I didn't have to go to work. So I was teaching at the time. And so I didn't really have to go to work. I was just teaching online at home. Like everything was easy. And so I am very thankful that they were born during a pandemic, because I didn't have to worry about like, oh, we have to daycare, we have to purchase. We didn't have to do any of that. Like we were home. My husband was home. Like all of us were home at one time. That was really, really nice. So that was a perk of all of navigating 3 children at one time. And then my parents had come into town. So like, we had some help while they were here, because they had already had their trip planned before the whole pandemic thing happened. And then we fast forward to 2022, where we had our second set of twins.
Yeah.
The story behind that. So we have 3 children. That was our game plan. 3 kids and done. But we had 1 girl, our singleton, and then we had boy-girl twins. And so my husband said, well, let's try for a boy. And I said, well, that's not how science works, but...
No, it's not.
Everybody says that. That's not how science works. You got a 50-50 chance. There's nothing guaranteed unless you're doing something that's not, out of the norm. So we said, okay. Once again, I went back regulating my hormones like I did with every pregnancy. And we said, well, if this is supposed to be a true 4th child, then it's going to happen, because we're not doing the trigger shots. We're not doing the time fertilities. I'm not doing any of that, because it was annoying. We went through 3 rounds of it to get the first set of twins. And I just didn't want to have to go through that again. I was like, I'm not doing that. It was a lot emotionally, honestly. Emotionally, it was just, no. And so we said, if we're going to have any more kids, like if this is God's plan, it will happen. If not, we won't have any more kids. We know now that was God's plan.
Yeah. He was like, hey, here's a bonus.
Yeah. I will tell you, Chelsea, how we've had so many different, it was so many issues with the first and the second pregnancy. None. First time pregnant. I was like, wow.
Oh my God.
My body pushed the easy button, and we're now here with 2 sets of twins. This set was both girls, no boys.
Wow, no boys. So you have 1 boy and 4 girls.
Yeah.
I had to do math in my head for a second, and that wasn't even a big number. Did you see me struggle? I was like, wait a second.
I was like, I'll help you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Whew. All right. So you've got 5 girls and 2 boys in your house.
No.
You've got, including you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dad did not get what he was hoping for.
And we're not trying anymore. We're not.
No. No. Yeah, that I love that whole thing. Like, oh, are you gonna try for a boy? Are you gonna try? It's like, no, there is no trying for. That's not how that works exactly.
Like a hope for a boy. Yeah,
exactly, right? Or like, are you trying for another baby? Well,
exactly.
I'm not trying for a puppy. So, you know what I mean? So getting pregnant with your first, it was challenging, and you were going through things, and you're like, what the heck is going on with my body? Like, why is this not happening? And you did sort of mention it a little bit. You're like, I hit the button. What else am I supposed to do? What sort of impact did that have on your mental health, or even just your relationship with your body at that time?
Yeah. So it was very hard. Thinking back, putting myself back into that time, I was like mad. I was mad at my body. I was mad that I couldn't get pregnant because everybody else around me was getting pregnant. Like everybody around me. And I remember just like seeing one person like, oh, we're having a baby. And it was like the first couple of times you're like, oh, congratulations. And then after a while you're like, I could care less what you have. Unless it's a dog, I don't really care. An iguana? But a baby? No, I'm mad at that. I'm mad at that.
Yeah.
And that was very, really, really hard to like continue to be happy for my friends and family who were conceiving and having babies while I'm like, I know that I'm like, I knew in my heart, and then the question you asked was like, did I ever want children? I knew I was going to have children in my life. I just didn't know, like I got content with not having children. And then meeting my husband and understanding like this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have children. We want children, and not being able to have children. Like that was rough. And so for a long time I was like, well, clearly it's just my body. And then we were like, well, and I was like, well, maybe it's you. I don't know. Is it you? And I was like, no, it's me. I'm the issue. And that was like,
I'm the problem. It's me. Sorry.
Yes, it's me. It's me. Yeah, that was really tough. And then like the trauma continued after that too.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
So after, she was 41 weeks and they were like, you have to take this baby. We have to take her down. Knowing what I know now, I would have advocated for myself better, but I didn't know better at that time. Like I was about a year into living in a whole new state. I didn't know, like I didn't have my community around me. Like I just didn't have education. I felt like no one talked about the options that were available to you. And then, so I just didn't know anything. And I had a really great team. I think that if I would have had a different team, things may have been better or may have been different. I don't know. I can't go back in time, but we went 41 weeks. I went to the hospital like the first time because I had a doula, and she was like, well, are you ready to go to the hospital? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, let's go. I don't know. Like, I never had a baby before. Like, what are contractions supposed to feel like? I have a very high pain tolerance. So I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here. We went, they took us home. They were like, you're not even like 3 centimeters dilated. You need to go back home. Ooh. I went back home, labored at home, went back, I think like labored for about close to 48 hours. And then I went back into the hospital. As soon as I got to the hospital, they put me in a triage and then my water broke. So of course you're not going home. You're in the hospital now. And when I was there, I ended up getting, labored in the hospital. I probably did every position that you probably could imagine to try to get a baby to come out. I was on the ball. I was in the shower. I was in the tub. I was peanut, everything, any ball you could think of. I was on it. Could have been a baseball. I was on it. I ended up getting to like 8-9 centimeters. And so they're like, well, we're trying everything. Like I was laid literally. So, we're usually horizontal. I was laid vertical. Yes. So perpendicular. Can I do my math today? So I was perpendicular on the bed, like stretched over on my back, just trying to get her to come down. Like they could feel her head, but they would turn her head and then she would turn right back. They kept doing this and at least 2 or 3 times. And I was like, this child will be stuck forever. Like it has to be. Lo and behold, blood pressure started dropping. Her heart rate started dropping. And they were like, we have to take her now before it becomes an emergency C-section. And all the things that I wanted when you have your birth plan, none of it came true. I had to get an epidural, of course. I didn't want that. I wanted to have a natural birth. Didn't get that. And so they didn't, luckily it was not an emergency C-section. It was just a normal C-section. So everything was fine. She was fine. I was fine. But what I didn't realize until a year after was I had postpartum depression the whole entire time. Like I was I thought I was ugly. Like I couldn't understand like why my husband liked me. I was like, whose body is this? Like I never wanted to, like some people have postpartum and they want to like hurt their child or they want to hurt themselves. I never wanted to do any of those. I was just disgusted with my appearance, my body, everything about me, I was just like, who are you? Like, this is not cute. Like, why would you want to be here? And that was really tough because I was, of course, after I was very, very into fitness before. So everything I was trying to do was just to get back to what I was before I had a baby, before I got pregnant.
Uh-huh.
And it's hard because I said, like, I wish I would have had people in place that would have been like, you do those surveys when you go to the doctor after you have a baby. Like, are you like, yeah, I'm fine. But they don't ask the right questions. Like, no, I don't want to hurt baby or myself. I just think I'm real ugly. This is not like, why do other people think that I'm beautiful and quit telling me I'm beautiful? I'm not. I'm ugly. And didn't realize it until a year later that I had postpartum depression. And at that time, I was like, well, you can't get help for postpartum depression after a year. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so I had to deal with that. And then we got pregnant a couple years later with the second set of twins, or the first set of twins, and didn't realize I was going to go through another round of trauma. Not only that, I'm pregnant with twins. They're both breech.
Did they know? Were they like, they're not going to turn? Like,
so we tried. I was at a chiropractor like every day, trying to, well, not every day, but like pretty much every day, trying to get them to turn. They wouldn't turn. And I was like, body, you are not like, you don't understand the assignment. Like, we'll have friends over here that are like, natural pregnancies. I'm done. One kid. We're great. I'm happy after. Like, all of the things that I desired, I was like, I'm not getting anything. Not getting anything that I want in this story.
Yeah.
Except my kids, which, at one point, like I said, I didn't want them either, but like, I love my children. It took a long time for me to like, think that through, but with them, it was an automatic C-section. In Arizona, you can't, like, there will be no doctor who will deliver a breech twin at all. You can't home birth, because that's another thing I wanted. I wanted a home birth. Can't home birth. And so I said, okay, great. As long as they come into this world, like, I just gotten like a just game face on. Like, bring them into the world. What else can we do from here? Nothing. Bring them in. And they were fine. When I got into the hospital, they delivered them. I suffered a lot of blood loss. Of course, the trembles after a epidural. Like, I had that bad. And they were fine. Like, they were fine. My son was like, he was probably one of my smallest, I think one of the smallest babies at the time. He was one of my smallest. So, and we got in there, we were like, we just want to go home. We don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah. Well, and those were your COVID babies, right? Too. So you were like, we just need to go home.
And so, and I will say, this C-section was a lot easier than my first C-section. That first C-section was rough. It was so rough. Yeah. And I've heard from other women like who've had multiple C-sections. The first one's like, it's a doozy. Or the second one is like, all right, cool. Can I do salsa dancing tomorrow then?
Oh my God. I definitely didn't feel like that after my C-section.
Really?
But I've only had one.
So your first C-section was hard. Same. Like, that first one was.
Yes.
Like, I remember we lived on the third floor of our apartment, and my brother, because he was in town, he had to carry me up 3 flights of steps.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Because it was rough.
There was no elevator?
No, they're garden style apartments out here.
Okay. Ugh. That gets my. No, well, and I'm like, that's like I'm like, hello, accessibility, like, but yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I have 2 kids. My first daughter was born vaginally, but my second was C-section, and yeah, it was traumatic. Like, if I think about that, I think it was traumatic. It was traumatic for a lot of reasons, but I think a lot of people who have C-sections, especially, and like you're talking about, thinking about your first one, recall those births as being traumatic. And they are.
So traumatic. So very traumatic. Like, I think you think of your birth as this like beautiful, like relaxing. And like, some people have that story. I didn't have that story. It was just I felt like it was just one thing after another, like one hit after another hit after another hit after another hit. And I was like, when am I going to stop taking hits? Like,
Yeah.
when is that going to happen?
When do you catch your break? So you had already had a C-section and you had already experienced postpartum depression. You didn't recognize it right away. So you may have had an idea going into this, but like, how did your mental health fare after the birth of your first set of twins amidst COVID?
Same.
Yeah.
Of course.
Did you recognize it this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like very alert because I started feeling some of the same things. When I was pregnant, I was, primarily all belly. I walked a lot during my pregnancy for the most part because I was teaching at the time. And, the same feelings kept coming back like, once again, girl, you are not sexy. This is not sexy. Let's figure this out. And that, it was like I was reliving the same experience that I was living postpartum with my first pregnancy. And this time I was at a new practice and they had in place that you can get therapy. And they were like, I said, I need somebody to talk to like now.
Yeah.
Like help.
So you advocated for yourself. Okay.
Absolutely. Because it was just, I feel like the team was okay. They were good. They asked the right questions. So they were better than my first team. But it was at that point, like there has to be a point where your doctor or midwife can only do so much. You also have to say like, yes, I'm going to do this. Or like, no, I think I'll be okay. And I knew I wasn't going to be okay. So it was like, I have to do this and we have to do it now.
Yeah. But like backtracking a little bit too, because we kind of glossed right over this. You didn't realize it the first time. What was the turning point? What was the light bulb moment that you were like, oh, that was PPD?
I think I was probably looking something up. And like I said, it was a year after, like.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I had a postpartum depression.
So you were like, it was just like a click. It was like, oh, that's what that was.
Like after doing research and reading, like I was like, oh my God. Because everybody talks about postpartum depression as this traumatic, like I said before, like I want to hurt somebody. I didn't want to hurt nobody. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe I don't have that. And then when I started reading more in depth, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That was what I had. Like nobody said anything. And I didn't know anyone either in my circle who went through postpartum depression. Like there was nobody around me who were like, oh, I had PPD. What did you do? So
yeah,
like I think like even now I just try to be an advocate for it. I had a conversation with one of my friends and I was just telling her there's these expectations that we have I had very high expectations. Like allow your body to do what it's supposed to do and be okay if a change occurs. And I was not okay with any of the changes that occurred when I went through any of those. And I think if I would have come to this like real peaceful mindset that Brittny, if you do not have a natural birth, will you be okay? Yes or no? And if you're not okay, what do we have to do to get you to be okay? I feel like there should be some therapy while you're pregnant. To be real with you.
Yeah.
To prepare you.
Well, so many of the things that you are talking about are the biggest issues with maternal health care in this country. And it goes so much deeper than that. Mm. So the disparities in maternal health care and maternal mental health care are insane. And they are double, sometimes triple for women of color. Mm-hmm. The thing, what I wish I could say to you is like, oh, wow, like I'm so surprised, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that you didn't know about PPD. I'm not surprised that you didn't hear people in your community talking about it. And that feels horrible to say. I hate that.
Yeah.
But people like you telling your story and having conversations like this is going to make it so that that next person who is feeling the way that you were feeling, or maybe even a little different, can be like, oh, they can have that light bulb moment a little sooner and not feel ashamed to be like, I need some help with this.
Yeah.
Like, even you saying like people need therapy during pregnancy, I think people in general just need therapy.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
But yes, there needs to be like maternal health care should include mental health care.
Yes.
Throughout the whole thing.
You don't realize.
And preparing you for birth, you should be preparing for every outcome. You felt you had your power taken from you in both of those situations. We haven't even touched on your third pregnancy and delivery yet, but like you had your power taken from you and you didn't have the birth experiences that you wanted, and you were slammed with postpartum depression. It's super important to remember too that like there's several different PMADs, but postpartum depression especially can look different for so many people. Like you were saying, you're like, no, I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to hurt my kid. Like, I'm fine. But postpartum depression also doesn't have to look like crying all the time. Right? Like for you, it manifested in your self-image. And it also sounds like there was a lot of anger and resentment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so when you made that distinction and you were amazing and you advocated for yourself, when did you notice some shifts starting to change, and how did those things start to change?
Well, I also, before I even tell that story, there is also the idea of like nursing children, like twins. That also brings another level of image because, now you're not able to produce enough milk. So it's all of those things started in play. So I have self-image. I'm not good enough or worthy enough to like produce milk for my children. Because with my first one, I was a milk cow. Milk was everywhere. And I was like, there's going to be milk all over the place for twins. Like, Brittny, there's 2 kids. Okay. But just thinking I wasn't enough. But a lot of it then played into me even thinking like, so with this the first set of twins, I got therapy very quickly. Like, I think it was within that like 3-month window, I got therapy. And I talked to an amazing woman. She walked me through like practical steps to take. That made sense to me. And it was all online. Like we would meet via, video, we would talk. And it was to a point where I was like, I didn't want it to end. I was like, please keep talking to me.
Yeah.
It was like what exactly I needed to heal the trauma from both pregnancies.
And it was like a limited time thing? Like it wasn't something that you continued?
I didn't continue it. I think we got to a place where she was like, I don't really think I can help you anymore. And in my mind, I was like, no, I still need help. But that's how I'm wired. I'm always the person who will seek out help. Like each of my pregnancies, I had a lactation consultant for every single pregnancy. And I went at least to 3 or 4 visits with every single pregnancy, at least 3. I've talked to people who've had multiple kids. Like, I didn't go to see a lactation consultant after the third. I was like, why not? How do you know everything's right? Like, I just want someone to check, make sure. If it is great.
Yeah.
If it's not, okay, fix it. That's just how I'm wired. I love feedback and I love criticism, constructive criticism. That's how I am. So yeah, it only lasted for a set period of time. I never figured out, should I have kept going? But she told me that I was good and I felt good. I will say I did feel good. So I didn't feel how I felt before, in terms of my self-image and half of my body. Was my body the way that I wanted to be? No. But I also was 2 pregnancies in. I knew I wasn't going to have rock hard abs and, beautiful skin. No, it's going to be loose and flabby, and it's okay. You just had twins. So.
Yeah, you had 3 children. Your body grew 3 kids. But bounce back culture is not a fun thing that we're faced with as birthing people. And we haven't even touched on your 3rd pregnancy.
3rd pregnancy, I know. This was,
Yeah.
how can I lead to this one? Okay. So, like I said, magical number 4 and 5, immediately found out that we were pregnant, and like my body knew. I didn't know that I was pregnant with twins, but I had a very strong inkling that we had conceived twins.
Mm.
Your body just kind of knows when you had one. And I remember I called my midwife, and I said, I don't feel, like something feels off or wrong. Can I just set an appointment to come to see you? And she's like, yeah, set an appointment, come see me. I said, okay. Get in, had to go to a different office. Like, I remember this one like it was yesterday. And she's like, okay, well, we should do an ultrasound to see if everything's okay. And I was like, all right, great. Like, check them out. This had to be before the 6-week mark.
Yeah.
And, or 8 weeks or whatever. So go in, the sonographer's scanning, and she's like, and as she's scanning, my midwife was like, wouldn't it be funny if you had triplets?
Oh my God.
Girl, no.
No.
No, thank you. No. As soon as she says triplets, ha ha ha, the sonographer says there's twins. So I'm immediately not processing what she's saying. I'm mad at still what she's saying. And I'm like, and she says do you want to see? And I'm like, she did just say what I think she just said. I said, no, I don't want to see. I do not want to see. Where are these kids going to go? Are they going to live in the ceiling? My house is not big enough for another set of twins, ma'am.
Yeah.
See. I mean, of course, I eventually saw it. I was like, she's not lying. There are 2 babies in there.
Yeah.
And it was a flood of joy and anger because I had to do it all over again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so valid. Oh my gosh. You're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, this is not real. I said, okay, I'm putting one kid I'm giving to you and the other kid I'm giving to you. So that way I can keep my 3. Everybody gets a kid.
Oh my God.
And I come home with the ultrasound and I show my husband and I was like, here you go. And he was like, oh, there's only one in there. And I was like, keep looking, homie. He was like, oh my God, it's twins again.
But, so you said too, you were overwhelmed with joy, but then you were also a little bit angry. And what a perfect example of holding 2 or more emotions at once, right? Both can exist at the same time. Yeah. And I can't imagine it. What was your husband's reaction?
So he goes into as any typical man goes into, okay, how can we prepare for these twins?
Fix it mode. Yeah. Right?
Okay, so we got to keep both cribs. Okay, so we need this. We don't know if they're boys and girls yet. We don't know anything. So his was just how can I prepare the house for another set of twins? That's all he did. Where I was just like, how can I prepare my mind, my mental capacity for 5 children? I thought I was going into here with 4. We're at 5 now. Okay. And I will say, what I didn't tell before, each of my pregnancies, my pregnancies are perfect. I don't really, I have maybe a little bit of morning sickness initially. Other than that, they're fine. I don't have anything, any other issues with them. So I was just, hoping and praying that I would have the same kind of pregnancy. But like I said, my postpartum and my labor delivery are always a whirlwind.
So it was the same with the third pregnancy?
There's some vindication. There's a happy ending to this story.
Ooh. Okay.
So we went, we go to regular ultrasound. So now, of course, I think I was 36? Yeah, 36, 37 with my second set of twins. Going to the doctor just as regularly as I did before. Of course, I'm considered high risk in a sense. One of my first questions I asked them, I said, will I be able to have a VBAC if possible? My midwife, she said, absolutely. I said, you give me hope. Okay.
Yeah.
She said, because neither of the pregnancies were emergency C-sections. So there is a possibility that you could have a VBAC. And so I got in my mind, I said, what we won't do is I'm not going down the road of you will have a VBAC, you will have a vaginal delivery. Anything is possible. And my mind was open to both possibilities, which it wasn't previously.
Mm-hmm.
So during the time, this is just a note, during the second set of pregnancy, the first set of twins, there was a doctor who I wanted to go to because I knew he would deliver breech babies. But something in me told me, do not go to him. Not for these, just because it was just like, don't do it, because it was so late in my pregnancy when I found out about him. So with my second set of pregnancies, I was with my midwife. She was still at the same practice she was before. And so I knew I was just like, it's anybody's game. And of course, babies are always flipping. And so at one point, they were both head down. Another point, one was breech, the other one was head down. So we kind of went through that. At no point were they both breech. My midwife sends me, she pulls me into the office one day and she's like, I have something to tell you. And I was like, what is it? Like everything in me was like, please, I don't need any bad news during my pregnancy. And she was like, I'm moving practices. And I was like, what does that mean for me? Like, or could I go?
Yeah.
Could I hold your hand the whole time? Like, I want to be with you. You are my people. And she told me the practice that she was going with was the doctor who delivered breech babies. And I said, I'm coming. Like, I was coming anyway, but now I'm really coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to his practice. I ended up meeting him. He was a Black man, which I had never had a male doctor before. I still stayed with her the entire time. I still went through my chiropractic care, making sure that they were head down at most as possible. We found out that baby A was head down, and she stayed head down the entire pregnancy. Baby B was breech. So once again, I knew that there was a possibility that either they would be both C-section, or I could have one of them be in a C-section and the other one a vaginal delivery, or I could have both be in a vaginal. Like I had three options. I got induced at 38 weeks with them. We did a natural induction. We did the Foley bulb. And then we also did the milkshake. And from there, like, my body was prepared, but they had to do a little bit of Pitocin just to kind of they did. I didn't, sorry, not Pitocin. They had to do an epidural. And that was very traumatizing because I did not want an epidural. I was like, no, we want to do natural. And she was like, what is stopping you from getting the epidural? And I said, I don't want what happened with my first pregnancy to happen again. And she was like, this is not your first pregnancy. She was the coach I needed in that moment to be like, you're going to be fine, which I did not have in my first pregnancy. I did not have that. And when she said it, I was like, there was so much peace that came over me. It was like, okay. Because I knew she would take care of me. I knew that she wouldn't allow the rest of the medical team to do something to me that would hurt me in any way. I did not feel that confidence with the first set of team. And even though they were amazing, they were amazing people, they did an amazing job, they just did not, I needed a coach. I needed someone to calm my spirit and hype me up and all of those things at one time. And there was just little things that I did during the time that I was in the hospital that I didn't get a chance to do. Prayer was really big for me. So having a space to just kind of sit and pray. And they're like, well, you're right. I was like, no, I just need y'all to go. I just need the time to I need to process and pray. That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
And I had that time with my husband. We sat and prayed, and everything was just peaceful. I took a nap after the epidural, which those are the things that I didn't get a chance. Everything was a whirlwind with her. This last one, I took a nap. I woke up and they were like, we're ready. You are 10 centimeters. Let's go. And I said, oh,
yes.
Are you ready? I was like, girl, I'm ready. Let's do it. I had to deliver in the OR because they say twin pregnancies need to be delivered in the OR. And of course, with my previous C-sections, I had to go to the OR. Went to the OR. My midwife delivered baby A, vaginal, perfect.
Yeah.
My baby B, my breech baby So since she was breech, the obstetrician delivered her. We're in the room, and he's like elbow deep trying to get this kid to come out.
Whew.
And he's like, okay, we have to prepare for a C-section. We've come so far. Like, and like literally, I remember me saying those words, like, we have come so far. Like, I don't want to do this again. And as he's saying that, he's still in there, like, trying to get her to come out. As soon as he said it, the anesthesiologist, like, bolsters another, like, epidural. I was like, no, we can't feel anything. Great. Thank you, sir. But as soon as he then says it, so it's like, he says, prepare for the C-section. He bolsters the C-section. And then the obstetrician then says, get ready to push. And I was like, I thought we were doing a C-section. It doesn't matter. Push. I think it was like 3 pushes. And she was out. And so
but you delivered her breech.
I delivered her breech.
So you got to deliver both your babies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you did have a redemption story at the end. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, and and it's like you said, like, you had people who you trusted. You had a team that empowered you, and you felt safe. Like, this third time around, it was just a totally different experience.
Everything about, from trying to conceive to everything was different. Everything was different. I'd say, like, and I say this in, like, the most loving way. Like, they were the babies I never wanted, but I'm glad I had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are.
Oh, I feel that.
They are they are literally my finish line.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
And it was like, I didn't, like, sometimes I'm like, am I going through postpartum? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. I think it's just life. There's just life. And like we said, everybody needs therapy. But, like, I felt like there's so much joy that I had with them. Like, I was able to, the issues that I had with nursing my first set of twins, I didn't have with them. It was just, they were different. As I'm telling the story, like, they are my thought process as I'm thinking about them, but they're everything that I didn't want, but I'm glad I have.
Yeah. Your story, which, again, you can only tell so much of it in such a short amount of time, but, like, it encompasses so many things that are so misunderstood in terms of just becoming a parent in general. Like, we're all taught that it's like, we're all taught when we're young, don't have sex, you'll get pregnant. Right? Like, we're taught that it's easy. You have sex, you get pregnant. Yep. And that's not true. For some people it is. Yeah. And I know those people. and I just, like, I know those people who, like you said, like, the delivery is just like, oh, I sneezed and they were born. Yeah. And, right? Like, but that's also not always the norm. And you had 3 very different pregnancies and 3 very different deliveries. And it just goes to show that, like you said, like, when you come, I don't know, this is easier said than done, but, like, coming to a place where you can be like, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I can either choose to prepare myself for it and move through it, or I can be pissed and resist it. I don't always think we're in control of that. Like you said, like, with your first pregnancy, especially, and your second and first delivery and second delivery, like, I think circumstances impact that. Like, if you feel safe with your team, if you feel like you're in control, and the fear is real, and that can cloud everything. But like you said, like, with your third pregnancy and delivery, with your last set of twins, you finally were at a place where you were like, I've got my people, I'm gonna roll with this, and whatever happens. Yeah, it's super powerful. It speaks to, and I don't even know, like, what kind of community you had. Like you said, you moved across the country. Like, did you did you have to build a village? Did you have a village, or was it just you and your husband trying to figure all this out?
So we moved to Arizona for our church.
Mm-hmm.
There was a church plant, a pastor currently. It was the pastor who married us in DC. And so we knew people here when we moved, but they weren't necessarily like a community at the time. I just kind of knew them. For the most part, I had, there were acquaintances in the most part, besides our pastor. We knew our pastor. So after I had my first, I remember going to church and I just felt like mad. I was like, why am I here? Like, I don't know anybody. Like, they don't know me. I could go back to DC at any time. And in my mind, I was like, we're going to be here for 5 years anyway. So I don't really care. Like, that was my thought process. Like, how old are you? You sound like a teenager. Get over it.
Hey, it's valid though. You were going through some things.
Hormones all over the place. And then after our second set, like we had started, after our first set, we started building our community, but I knew like the people who were around me still weren't like my people. I started putting there were some strong pillars, but all the pieces weren't connected. And now we have a community and we have a very strong community. We don't have any family out here, but there's a lot of those pillars that we have within our community who are like family to us. Like I could call on them and be like, would you watch all 5 kids? And they would be like, sure, we sure will. Which I know that's not a lot of people's story. And I appreciate that. Like as much as my mom and dad would love to be here, they try to come out at least once a year. They say it's too hot in Arizona. And I say, that's just fine with me. I do not want to see them at all. So I'm not moving back. So I hope you move here.
My husband says the same thing about Arizona. He's like, it's a dry heat.
It is.
It's a dry heat. That's what I like. I'm like, okay. I don't
want any humidity. I could put some curls in my hair and they last all day.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I live in Vermont where the weather changes 6 times a day. So yeah, I don't know that. I don't know how that goes. But yeah. So you have a community. Mm-hmm. You have people behind you now, and you evolved that and you grew that. It's like a recurring theme in this season of guests that I'm speaking with is the village that we were promised. It doesn't exist. We have to build it ourselves. Mm-hmm. And you did that. It does exist in other cultures and it's supposed to exist, but you have to build it yourself and you did. And that played a role in your postpartum journey following your youngest kids. Yeah. Yeah. And are they 2 or 3?
There'll be 3 at the end of the month.
Okay. Because when you said you had them in 2022, my youngest was born in 2022. So she'll be 3 in June. I was like, I know they're... So you're in that fun phase between... I saw your face. I know. The fun was sarcasm. Yeah. The fun was sarcasm. Everybody talks about the terrible 2s, right, and nobody warns you for the 3-nagers.
Yes.
And... yeah, while it's really, really cool to get to meet them and learn their personalities, they're also some of the sassiest and most feral, I don't even, 3-year-olds are something else.
They're like a mixture of all the tears that you get at 2 years old plus the attitude of a 3-year-old, in one person. And it's like a catastrophic explosion almost every day.
And you've got 2 of them right now.
Yeah. And I think literally the other day I was like, you are being a horrible 3-nager. Why? Don't do that. Not yet.
Stop it.
Come on.
You have 1 more month.
I love you unconditionally, but girl.
So you've got so you've got 2 almost 3-year-olds.
Yep.
You've got 2 5-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
then
almost
a 7-year-old. See, I can math. We're mathing this episode. Oh my gosh.
I love a good math session.
Oh my God. But I don't. And I was a teacher too. I was a special educator. No, you can do the math. I'll do the reading. Anyway, I want to kind of transition us into like where we're at now, because I've loved how real and authentic and like also you can laugh through this. I feel like those of us who have gone through it, who have gone through whatever it is, if you've been through it, if you can't laugh about it,
I'm not gonna get through it.
you're gonna have a bad day. Like it's not, and it's okay to feel the feels. It's okay to have those days. I still have the anger. It's still there some day. I mean, I won't even say some days, a lot of days. And I'm sure you have those days too where you're like, what the heck?
It happened about maybe 45 minutes before we got on the phone. I was just like,
yeah.
Like, today is not the day. It's not the day.
No, but then we can get on a call like this and we can talk about it honestly, and we can be real, and we can laugh at the utter just chaos that is parenting and pregnancy and postpartum and the whole thing. So you have 5 young kiddos and you run your own business because you are a boss. What? How? This is such I have to be careful how I word this question because I hate this freaking question. The typical question that I'm sure you get asked all the time is, how do you balance family life? And that is not what I want to know. What I want to know is, are you intentional about how you take care of you while also filling these other roles? Because you're not just one thing. You're a lot of things, but at the heart of it, you're Brittny.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure Brittny is being taken care of?
So I think it plays into a lot of my business is kind of like how I have to keep driving myself towards, which is we kind of cater to self-care, but also like dry skin is a huge issue. And so ironically, like with each of my pregnancies, I had eczema after each pregnancy and it got worse and worse and worse. And so like I have to make sure that my self-care is like, I'm very mindful. Like I think the other day I remember telling my husband, I was like, I had to put a face mask on. And he was like, you said it like you do this every day. And I was like, yeah, when you're not home. Put my mask on and I like, once the kids take a nap, like I zone out and zen in. Like that's what I do. And it doesn't look like I love doing my nails. So he calls it cuticle care. I call it doing my nails.
Hey, I like it.
Time where it's like I would stay up till 2 a.m. just to make sure like I have that time alone. And so I think for like probably about a good year, I would stay up like in the wee hours of the night where like nobody is awake. It's just me, a TV. Like if I want to do work, I can do work. Like whatever I want to do, like that is my time. And like, yeah, maybe I don't wake up until 9 o'clock. I'm like, good luck, guys. But like, I'm not mad at you guys. When I don't get sleep, that's when I'm mad. Like that's what I feel the most anxiety and anger that kind of spurs up because I know that I have not prepared for the day. But when I'm rested, I'm happy. I feel like everything is in place. Like I've worked out. I just joined this new workout group where I'm like, when I was, talking about like my self-image, I no longer think that I'm ugly. I just want the saggy little belly skin to go away. And I was talking to a friend and she was like, there's nothing wrong with your body. I was like, there isn't. However, everybody has an expectation of what they would like to be. And I'm not going to get surgery to get there to somebody else. Let them do that. But I know that I can work out. Like I was an athlete all the way from 5 years old to college. So I understand what hard work feels like and I know what it looks like. And I can do it. It's just now it's time to do it. It's time to be disciplined for me instead of being disciplined for everyone else. Like I know I'm about to step into a new chapter of my life where I can take care of myself, but I forgot what the discipline looked like. Like that is where I was like, I've really been I made sure you go to the bathroom. I made sure you were fed. I made sure you were happy. You had a nap. Like I was very disciplined for your life where I lost the discipline for my life. I started eating whatever you were eating. Whenever it was, oh, you have half a pizza left over? I'll eat that. Why? Eat some real good food, girl. And so like self-care for me is now making sure I work out, making sure that, I get my moment where I take care of my skin, where I'm taking care of my body, I'm putting good foods in my body again. Like all of those things, like that's my self-care. I don't have to go out and like drink every night. Like that's not how I do my self-care, which I know for some people like that's the case, which is kudos to them. Um, but it just looks different. Like if I have some girlfriends that want to go out, I'm like, okay, I've penciled this in. Like I'm gonna go head out with my girlfriends tonight. Like tonight, I'm gonna go to a spin class with one of my girlfriends. So like he does allow me the space to get away, which I greatly appreciate. Where I know that some people that's not their story. And so like my husband and I, we are truly a team. And
Uh-huh.
if I have to like run away and hide in the closet, he's like, don't mess with mommy. Like let her be, don't call her name. And so I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. What I love so much about what you like just described as self-care is A, there's so many aspects of it. B, it's evolved.
Mhm.
It's evolved throughout your parenting journey. And C, you spoke about it with zero shame. And but I love that so much because mom guilt is such a thing. And there's so many things that you said that resonated with me. Like I totally, and so many moms totally love when everyone else in my house is asleep. Like even my husband, and it's
Mhm.
quiet. And yeah, it's probably way too late for me to be awake, but it's quiet and I can do what I want to do. So like that resonates with me. And like you saying like nap time, yeah, I put on my face mask and I chill out. Yes, girl.
Mhm.
Like yes. You do not need to go load the dishwasher and do the laundry when your kids are sleeping. You can sit down. You
I
can
literally
do
I have gotten to this point now where I will load the dishwasher right before I put them down for a nap. So that way I do have time that I'm like, and then there's some days where I'm like, okay, great, we'll just hurry up and put these dishes in. But it's like, then just run away. And so, yeah,
yes.
like that's so important.
Ugh. Yeah. I mean, I will say like I will put laundry in the morning, and then when my little one goes down for a nap, I'll fold and watch a show.
Mm-hmm.
But folding isn't like a big deal for me. So like that's like I can binge my show while I
Mm-hmm.
fold. You know what I mean? Or sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm learning how to speak Chinese. Like that is not important to this episode at
Yeah,
all.
a little
But
bit
like
though.
that's like my self-care. Like
Yeah.
she's taking a nap and I'm on Duolingo or
Mhm.
whatever it is learning Chinese. So like I'm trying to communicate to listeners like the way that you speak about it, there doesn't need to be shame. You need to take care of you. And self-care can look however it needs to look and however fits you. Yeah. For time's sake, so that these are my favorite kind of episodes because I feel like I could just laugh with you like forever and ever, but I like I can't have a forever podcast.
Wouldn't that
Um
be interesting?
Pff, no, I don't want to be like the Kardashians. Like I don't want my
Reality
life
TV show at that point.
24/7. Nobody wants that from me in my life. But back to you. Um I think to sort of like wrap this up, I kind of always get like a theme from every guest that I talk to. And with you, the word that keeps coming up for me is like empowerment. And it's not something that you necessarily like were always empowered. You said like you had a pretty clear definition of who you were and you knew how to do the work and get the work done. But throughout your motherhood journey, that empowerment developed. And you're now in a place, like you said, where you're stepping into this new chapter and you are empowered. I can see it. Like I can see it and I can feel it and I can hear it. I think I told you this in an email earlier, but like I always have one of two questions that I end on. And I use the whole episode to get a feel for which question I want to ask. And you're making it challenging for me, Brittny, because both of them would work for you. So I think I just have to pick one. Yeah, I think I'll go with this one. Because all of your experiences were so different. And you've really come through some super challenging things. what do you hope, listening to your story, what do you hope my listeners take away from your journey?
It's a good question. Whew. I think the thing that I hope that they would take away is to trust your body and your mind. I feel like I told this to one of my other friends. I was like, you know your body better than anyone else. And as I kind of go back and replay each of those pregnancies and even where I'm at now, the one thing that I lost was the trust that I knew that I held in my body. My husband and I, we have talked about, I don't know if we'll ever do it, but we said that one day we could become a doula and a doodler. And
that is so cool. Oh my God. If you do that, you need to tell me, because I will like blast that everywhere. First of all, we love a doula. Second of all, a doodla? Are you kidding me? Yes, please.
if it ever happens, once my kids get bigger, we'll kind of figure it out. But we always said of just like being able, I needed a coach. I feel like everybody has different needs. And for me, I'm not delicate. And I think that's the beauty about me. I don't think that I'm delicate. I know that I'm not, and I don't want anyone to handle me as such. I was handled as if I was delicate for that first pregnancy, and I'm not delicate. There's power in me, and I lost her. I lost where the power was. And I feel like you really do have to, there are things that are out of your control, of course, but if you trust your body, you trust your instinct, and that goes, like, that doesn't just go for a pregnancy or a labor or a delivery, that goes for life in general. When you trust and you know your strength, there's beauty in that. And not everything is going to come out maybe the way we want it to come out. But what we can come out saying is that I did what I knew I was able to do. And these were the things that are out of my control. But I allowed myself to be at peace with them. And I think that it takes a lot to get there. But like I said before, if you can prepare your mind and your body for those things will be a lot easier. I had like the joy of being in the labor and delivery room with one of my friends, and I was there until her mom came, and I remember it was just like I wanted an advocate, and I was like, whoever I ever impart, having the opportunity to be blessed in the labor and delivery room, I want to be the advocate. And that was one thing that has been spoken over my life many years ago, that I would advocate for people. And in those moments, it was just like, I'm going to advocate for you the best way that I possibly know how, even when you cannot advocate for yourself. And so I say all of those things is, to tie it back in, but just to trust yourself, and to allow the people around you to lift you up and really promote you instead of just kind of sitting at your feet.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's beautiful. I also think that you and your husband need to be doulas and doodlas, and for all of the reasons that you just said. But yeah, so Brittny, thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for making me laugh on a Friday evening. I needed that. If my listeners want to follow along your journey and like keep up with what you're doing, where's the best place they can find you?
They can find me at Trades of Britt. So Trades, TRADES of Britt with one T, on Instagram and any other platform that's the name of my business. And so I thank you, Chelsea, for allowing me the opportunity to share my story. This is one place that I've not shared my story publicly. And so this is the first time that like people outside of my circle of people know my story. People on my Instagram will see my kids every now and then, but no one truly knows this story. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for trusting this space and for trusting me with your story. Yeah. Honestly, that you just made my, like, I don't know, my whole week. Like, that's amazing. I appreciate you. I appreciate your advocacy. And thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brittny, for your honesty, your courage, and your voice. Stories like yours remind us that healing isn't linear and that we deserve to be heard, believed, and supported. If this story resonated with you, leave us a comment and let us know. You can find links to learn more about Brittny in the show notes. You can keep up with us on Quiet Connection by following us on Facebook, Instagram, RedNote, YouTube, and Threads at Quiet Connection Podcast. You can also find us on Blue Sky at Quiet Connection Pod. You can help our community grow by leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and consider sharing our episodes on social media. Be sure to check out our Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee accounts to support our mission and get exclusive access to bonus episodes and other goodies. To share your journey, you can contact us through our website at quietconnectionpodcast.com or by email at quietconnectionppmh@gmail.com. Join us next time when another story is told and you realize you are not alone. I see you.